The honor we show here this evening for this one flag, we are showing for all the flags, even those not physically here. It's a funeral! This here flag funeral! Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Edinger Presents Fun with Flags. My name is Evan Edinger and I can't believe you just made me make a Big Bang Theory reference. Last week's video, I talked about US flag code, and you guys sure had a lot to say about that. So the one part of the video you guys seemed to just kick up a fuss the most about was, of course, the ceremonious burning of the US flag, which is codified in law. One comment struck out to me, which was, okay, this was all fine, but then we got to the ceremonial burning, and I realized America is just one big cult. It's not a cult, it's just part of our culture. But as a lot of you did have that particular comment, I thought, why not give you a bit more information about how a flag burning ceremony actually goes down? First off, only one flag is to be used during this ceremony. The rest, they can just be burned in the background. Is that true? The remainder of flags collected should be incinerated. A corporate, government, or military incinerator or furnace can usually be found for this purpose. It's gotta be a big boy incinerator. You can't burn it in a standard no fire from me. Oh, so the one flag is done ceremoniously, and then the rest are just incinerated? I find that disrespectful. That's very disrespectful. I can't believe this is allowed. The ceremony should be conducted out of doors, preferably in conjunction with a campfire program, and it should be very special. It's gotta be very special. I just can't believe that's actually in there. Like, it's gotta be very special. Not just special. Muy especial. Right, working on the Spanish, the Duolingo, it's helping out. So this ceremony involves 2 color guards instead of 1. These are the people that march alongside the flag with the guns. Of course, 1 color guard is to march alongside the flag that's currently up, and the other one is for the one that's to be burned. And after the current flag has been taken down, they present the flag to be burned, and the leader comments, "This flag has served its nation well and long. It has worn to a condition in which it should no longer be used to represent the nation. This flag represents all of the flags collected and being retired from service today. The honor we show here this evening for this one flag, we are showing for all the flags, even those not physically here." It's a funeral! This here flag funeral! The leader should call the group to attention, order a salute, lead the entire pledge of allegiance to the flag, order the flag to be retired by the color guard, and then slowly, ceremoniously, lower and respectively fold the flag in the customary triangle. Deliver the flag to the leader, and then dismiss the group. This concludes the ceremony of final tribute. It is important to note that the fire be sizable, all right? We ain't talking about no tiny little campfire, no lean-to. We talk about a big old TP log cabin, preferably having burnt down to a bed of red-hot coals to avoid bits of the flag being carried off by a roaring fire. That would be horrific. Can you imagine going to a flag funeral and then seeing a bit of your loved one, this living thing, fly away? Unacceptable. Yet, it has to be of sufficient intensity to ensure the complete burning of the flag. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So in regards to the actual burning after the whole pre-ceremony goes down, everyone's gonna be saluting, they throw the flag on the fire, and then everyone's gotta sing "God Bless America," followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And when the flag is basically consumed, those assembled, with the exception of the leader of the color guard, are dismissed single file. The leader and the color guard remain until the flag is completely consumed. You've got to stay by that fire, making sure it's completely done. The fire should then be safely extinguished and the ashes buried. You can't just leave that flag's ashes. That is dishonorable, okay? You gotta bury those ashes. It served its country well. Now, obviously, I'm taking the mickey real hardcore here, but that's because there's just so much involved with this ceremony, despite the fact that, like I said, there's a lot of people in the US that would like this type of honor for existing, or just the bare minimum, really. And now you know how a US flag is ceremoniously burned, if you ever have to ceremoniously burn a US flag. Next comment, we have, "That whole flag in every classroom thing reminds me so much of what we learned about school in the Third Reich. There were swastika flags and portraits of Hitler everywhere. And if I remember correctly, the students had to salute whenever they walked past one of those." I'm pretty sure that's correct. Never mind singing a song about the flag, mostly practiced by the Hitler Jugend, I believe. Note how every last verse of the chorus is, "Ja, die Fahne ist mehr als der Tod." Yes, the flag is more than death. And only learning about selected parts of history seem familiar, USA. Oh my gosh, I didn't know much about the songs that the Hitler Jugend used to sing. Yikes. That's one of those things where you just have to look and be like, let's just compare. I hate that it's just low-hanging fruit to be like Nazis. But look at the amount of comparisons here. It should slightly disturb you. and then it should disturb you more than slightly. Also, on the topic of the Hitler Youth, if you haven't seen Jojo Rabbit yet, it's really good. It's a Taika Waititi film, phenomenal, very funny, and sardonic. Loved it. That's just Evan Reviews Films. Coming to a film review channel near you. The Dutch flag etiquette, apparently, is that if there's 3 flags in a row, the highest honor flag is the one in the middle, which is where the national flag goes, and then the left is second, and then the right is third. That's a bit confusing to me. However, when it's with international flags, they're in alphabetical order in the names of the countries using their French names, because logic. Who knows the French names of countries besides the French? And clearly the Dutch. I don't know! Considering, you guys really like my French accent in the video I made on the Sunday, I must assume. I don't know the French words for countries. England must be what? Des boutons? Oui, oui. I just put D. That's German. Les boutons. Ah, yes. The UK in French is les boutons. Oui, oui. And though I jest, I believe someone told me in Canada, theirs is also in alphabetical order, but with the English names, which makes more sense, I guess, for a country that has English as a first language. The Dutch used French. Maybe they miss their friends. They miss their friends in France. Their friends French. Basically what Evan is saying is that the US flag has more rights than black people in the USA. You may not kneel on the flag for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. You hate to see it, but it's true. You can't argue. It is true. That is the point I made at the end of the video. If you stayed to watch the whole thing, appreciate it, but yes, it's tragic, genuinely. I feel like Britain's version of stating the Pledge of Allegiance every day in school is, good morning, blah, 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 blah. Good morning, everyone. You do it at the beginning of every primary school assembly. I learned this thanks to my way old video with Dodie about school in the US and the UK. Yeah, I only also know that because it's in an Alt-J song. Good morning, Mrs. Posner. Good morning, everyone. It does sound slightly culty. How do you guys like it? You're in a cult and your leader is just the principal of your elementary school / primary school. Don't you sing like nursery rhymes as well about whole world in his hands? That's a big hand. big hand. You gotta hand it to him. You don't. You know I had to give it to him. With the US flag, I'm a trans guy, and I was raised and socialized as a female. And in my elementary school, they folded the flag and stored it every Friday, with our school's policy that only guys are allowed to fold and store the flag. I always wanted to do it, but I was never allowed. One day, my homeroom teacher was out sick, and the substitute read me as a boy, so I got to do the flag. I just think it's crazy how we're obsessed with the flag and that my school had insane rules like this. Yeah, the fact that as a kid you're like, I wish I could have the honor of folding and storing this piece of fabric. That is a bit weird, right? Obviously as a kid you're excited to do anything. But a chore like that, you want to do it? It's a bit of indoctrination, that's all I'm trying to say. You gotta think a little objectively, like, what's going on? Maybe you should not do this for children. Maybe when you get an adult and you want to do it because you're like, I appreciate these freedoms and I, appreciate where I come from and all the countries and the history. I want to do this for myself, not just, hey, I'm a kid and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do it because my parents told me to and the teacher's gonna yell at me if I don't do it, you know what I'm saying? Do you ever forget to breathe? It's just a flag, and it still has politicians standing for it that are trying to take your rights away like they're in some J.K. Rowling wet dream. Aguamenti! The only time I ever see English flags around in public is during a World Cup, and that obviously never lasts too long. It's coming home. I mean, when we had one of our neighbors actually had a little Union flag out in the house, and I thought that was really pretty. I'm walking by, I take a little photo of it, I'm like, I like the British flag. I think it looks beautiful. I love the deep blue and the red and the white more than the US's. I don't know, I just really like the design. I posted to my story, my flatmate Noah says, oh, is that the neighbors? Probably racist. Why? Why can't you just like the flag? It's a nice flag. You don't have to like sports and be racist, but supposedly that is the stereotype. If you got a British flag in front of your house, you like football or don't like people that play football in South America. Oh God. Keep in mind that the UK flag code is laid out as a guide, whereas the American one looks like it's literally the law. Yeah, that's the thing. I got a lot of comments from people being like, Evan is really wrong here because the thing is, this isn't enforced. That doesn't mean it's not a law. It's still a law. There are laws in the UK saying weed's illegal. It's not enforced. It doesn't mean you should go out and do it, okay? It's still against the law and you're gonna get arrested or something. So all I'm saying is, if it really wasn't enforced, why is it a law in the first place? And actually, there is a court case in which someone pled that they did not want to have to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and it goes against the First Amendment rights of freedom of speech and freedom of protest. And the person won. So you don't actually have to adhere to the flag code. It's now against the Constitution to do that. Fair, good. But yet there are a lot of social repercussions for people that do not adhere to the flag code, such as, I live in America, we have a flag standing outside our school and one in every classroom. Sounds about right. I always refuse to stand during the pledge. We don't have liberty and justice for all, so I'm not standing up and promising it. Usually my teachers allow me to do this, but occasionally I'm literally forced to stand, but I still don't say the words. I blame this on my bad grade in social studies with my patriotic conservative history teacher. By the way, this is the type of thing that will happen if you decide to not follow the pledge. Because people are like, oh, you don't have to. What are you going to do if you're a foreign exchange student? Do you have to say the pledge? You don't have to. But you will get bullied. Your teacher, especially the more further south you go, or the more conservative your teacher is going to be very angry. They will take it out on you. You will not have a very objective grade for how you've done in a class. This is something that actually happens. This is why it's scary. I find it ridiculous that we have to stand up and take away class time every morning for the pledge to a piece of cloth on the wall, and even more ridiculous that I'm considered a traitor to the country for not taking part, but here we are. That's literally how it is. You're considered a traitor. I said that in the video, and I think people considered it a joke. You're considered a traitor, like someone who hates their country for not standing up for a pledge at the young age of 12. There's a problem here. So the issue isn't that you're forced to stand for the pledge. It's that via the social norms and mores of the classroom, you're going to be sticking out like a sore thumb. And especially, like I said, the more conservative the area, you're going to be disliked and probably shunned. In elementary school in America, we had to put up the flag and everyone dropped it a few times, but we just never told the teachers and kept using it. Get him! Someone get him! Cops! Get this man! What's his name? Sid! He's broken the flag code. You get ready. Get him out of here. You think you were safe in my comment section? Absolutely not. Get out of here. Take him to the prison. Disrespectful little whelp. U.S. law. The American flag is considered a living thing. Biology teachers. Just my reaction was, FYI, in Australia, only one flag can be on a flagpole at one time, and if the material of the flag deteriorates, then it should be cut into unrecognizable pieces. You can't recognize these pieces, sealed in a bag or container, and put in the rubbish bin. Oh, quaint. I literally never knew there were laws/codes around the national flag until this video, and when I looked into the Australian flags, it's not as living as the American flag, but there are many similarities, such as when and how it's flown. Yeah, like I said, that's why I tried to add that bit in the video so people weren't just like, America's crazy. Just a little bit in terms of a lot of countries. Every country has a type of flag code. Not all of them are codified. Not all of them have living flags, okay? Ours are breathing. Ours are waving. Ours are free. Me, British. Oh gosh, this flag is so heavy. Let me put it down for a minute. Flag. No, don't do it. If you do, I will die. Me. No, you won't. Don't be silly. Flag. Dies. Me. Oh, well, I guess that's that then. I live in Texas and have literally lived in the same I almost said postcode. Who am I? I live in Texas and have literally lived in the same zip code for my entire life. At my elementary school, the 5th graders had a club thing they could join that gave them extra privileges and responsibilities. Sounds fun. One of the things they got to do was raise and lower the flags. Well, that wasn't until the kids put the state flag upside down because they're children and the school got in trouble. You put the Texas flags upside down in Texas? And you lived to tell the tale? Also, yes, the Texas flag is allowed to be flown at the same level as the US because Texas was the only state that joined the country on their own terms. That was the fact I was looking for. I also believe Texas history is focused on a lot more than other states on their specific state history. It is true. Also, every classroom had both the state and country flag, and this was true for my elementary, middle, and high school. I don't think we had the New Jersey state flag in any classroom of mine except for like one. Just to be like, look at New Jersey flag. It has 2 women. It has horse head. It looks beautiful. Texas is like, remember the Alamo. I don't know, but remember the Alamo. What does a Texan yell to the waiter when he wants to make sure he gets ice cream on his pie? Remember the Alamo. Yes, and you should think it's weird that by putting the state flag upside down by accident by children, it caused everyone to get in trouble. I'm pretty sure if in the UK that happened, it'd go a little bit like this. Just really wish I had a lapel mic. Like my audio recently.
Did you see that?
Oh, what? The flag?
Yeah. Do you think they're in distress? Or just racist?
I couldn't sleep last night, and I sat up thinking a lot. Something just hit me. They really made us pledge allegiance to the USA flag every morning, to a piece of fabric. The more I actually think about it, the crazier it sounds. It's fabric. I think it was around high school when I realized, wait, why are they making me do this? Seems stupid. And if we didn't do it, we were ridiculed and called unpatriotic. Oh my God. Yes. That's literally what happens. Wait, what? You have to do that every day in school? Here in the Netherlands, we never do anything like that. Yeah, but you guys put sprinkles on your toast. I know what you're doing, okay? You can get out of here with that. See, even he agrees with me, right? Disgusting. Get your Sinterklaas or Sinterklaas. Get your Santa Claus off my toast. Mother's Day, Father's Day, why the hell would one of those days be the days you should hoist the flag? Or even worse, Easter, separation of church and state. Well, Easter makes more sense because it's a bank holiday, so, you know, got a day off. Don't forget America. But yeah, Mother's Day, flag. Father's Day, flag. It's my birthday, flag. Flag it all day. Fun fact, on Main Street, USA, in Disneyland/Magic Kingdom, all the American flags along the street, aside from the one in the middle in the main square, have something fake about them, such as a missing star/stripe. This is so they don't have to be raised/lowered at park opening/closing, aside from the previously mentioned one in the middle of the square. Isn't that ridiculous? And people are like, oh, it's not a law, it's not enforced. If you've made Disney have to go around by making a 49-starred flag or a 12-striped flag just to get around the law, that's serious business, all right? Because obviously the paper plate that I was holding in the video is legal because it's not a 100% one-for-one 13-stripe 50-star flag rendition on a plate. And that's how you can get around it, as long as you make it slightly different. Why is that law a thing though? Like that's the issue. Like that still shouldn't be a thing. But yeah, thank you for the fun Disney fact of the day. I didn't know that, and now next time I go, I'm gonna be looking at the flags. I grew up in rural Alabama. Yikes, I know. And I remember saluting every day. And even if your leg is broken, well, you'd better have crutches, because if any reason you didn't stand up, you'd be sent to the office and suspended. This is another comment, what I'm talking about, where it gets severe. Like, the more south you go, the more you just cannot express your freedom to protest, which is number 1 in the Constitution. Hello, I'm Evan Edinger, and my hair resembles a croissant. I just liked this comment. I need a haircut. Fun Canadian fact, did you know that our flag was made by a Canadian citizen and has only been used since 1964? I didn't, but who else do you think would have made a Canadian flag? The French? No! It's like, did you guys know we made our own flag? I should give you guys a pat on the back. Like, you did it. You did it. You know, in America, we made our own flag as well, right? Someone in America. Not to bully you, but I just think that's funny. Thank you for the Canadian fact. I'll give you an A+. Imagine putting the EU flag in front of your own flag. What a simp. Germany simps for the EU. Well, that is everything you guys had to say about last week's video. Thank you very much for all of your amazing comments. I love this type of content that I'm making now, and I hope you appreciate all that we're doing here. If you liked the video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe, make new videos every Thursday, every Sunday, and every time I'm gonna be doing something different with the lighting or sound, because I'm trying my best. A man that's trying his best. Anyway, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Goodbye.